All right, here we are, fellas. Into the off season. Another one at that, the third off season. Thank you for everyone that's stuck around this long. Those at the bottom of the totem pole keep climbing up the totem pole. This off season is where you make your money, for lack of a better term. Here with Chip, known as Wild Work. How you doing today?
Couldn't be better, man. Couldn't be better. Kickball was nice, but we're back. We're back in the office, and we're looking to make a splash here in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what transpires over the next 6-ish months. First off, I want to congratulate Lark for winning the league this last year. Probably the last time he's going to hear me talk about it. But got to give the flowers out where it's due. So congratulations to Lark. I think a lot of people saw that one coming. And to those who were in the playoffs that didn't make it to the championship, just remember that feeling. Trust the process. I'm sure you got the itch now. I wouldn't be shocked if Noah Furrow may be the first person to make a trade here in the off season, um, which would be completely, the opposite of how he was moving last year. So I think, the playoff run, how it shook out, CMC getting moved late. We're gonna see some action this off season, and I'm excited for it. You want to dive into some rookie talk?
I think, yeah, I think that'd be interesting. Um, how do you want to start this? Because we are you going through looking at like relative to the guys drafting where people are in the thing, or you just top guys?
I'm gonna come out and be honest with you guys. I was sleeping on silk sheets this last year, and it bit me in the ass. I talk a big game, but my big board isn't looking that great right now. Um, I figure a guy like yourself would have more insight into what rookies are coming out. Who's gonna be the first round, really? 101 to 105. What guys are coming off the board there, Cam?
This is interesting. This is really interesting because I don't know if I want to give up too much intel. I don't know if I want to tip my hat here, but I will say there are some running backs in this class that are getting enough juice, and it's not Jeremiah Love. That's where I'm gonna draw the line in the sand, but I'm just saying there's some st
I'm looking at the draft order right now, and the way the picks fold, and I don't know really who's holding these picks, but this is the order. And if it's relevant to you, then listen. First will be Andrew Lascano, Harry Bushwhacker with the 101. The 102 will be yourself, Chip. 103 will be the Brandalorian. Hey, if anyone knows if he's doing all right, just shoot me something. I need to check in on the Brandalorian. I haven't heard much from him regarding to the meat market. He'll be the 103. The 104 is Riley Gary. If you remember that crazy week that Riley Gary had the fire sale, he ended up being the 104. So the fire sale didn't go as well as he planned. 105 is the meat market terrorist Tyler Huang. I think Evan Dodgen's got that pick, so we'll see what happens with that. Chief Steve sitting with the 106. I'm not sure if he's still got that pick or if he sold that. Um, interesting spot for Chief Steve. 106 has a fantastic starting lineup for Dynasty, so I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he sells that rookie pick. Evans got the 107. Friedell's got the 108. I don't think Friedell's got that pick. That might be Evs now. Myers got the 109. I actually got that pick. So I'll be sitting at the 109. Whoever has my first round pick will get the 110. Noah Furrow has the 111. I don't think he has that pick anymore. And then Kyle Lark's got the 112, and I don't think he has that pick anymore either. I think Evans got pretty much this first round, the tail end of it. I mean, you foresee any movement here, Chip? You think people are going to be selling these picks, using these picks, or we're going to have to wait and see when it gets closer?
I mean, I'll speak for myself. If you're interested in either Jordan Tyson or Cornell Tate, it'd be in your best interest to reach out because otherwise they would be drafted, by Wild Work and Company. So I can't tell you which one exactly yet, but if either of those guys are on your radar, I'm a call away. Asking price is 2 first, then I'll leave it there.
Pretty standard, I think, for early first, two future firsts. I mean, it is what it is. Supply and demand. You gotta pay to get it now. Drew's got the 101, the infamous tanker himself. I gotta ask. I've been hitting at it, but now 3 months away. It's gonna creep up here soon. Is Drew gonna use that 101 to go get Jeremiah Love?
Yeah, he is. He's absolutely delusional. He has zero idea what the pick's actually worth. And frankly, he's
Um,
gonna bench him next year, all next year. So he's just gonna set a year on fire on a bell cow guy. Um, I don't know. Drew will be if you do want to make a move though, I do have the 1-2. I'm willing to tack on another first there, but that's about as good as I can go. So hit me up.
Interesting. I don't want you to use this platform strictly, for your own benefit here, but yeah, no, interesting enough. If I was Drew, I'd probably sell the 101, but hey, man, I'm not in that position to make that kind of decision. Brandon Lorian sitting with the 103 after your pick. I gotta think he's gonna keep that pick and probably use that for a rookie player, considering his team's kind of in a little limbo area right now. He's not in a full rebuild, but he's also not competing. So interesting to see what the Brandalorian does this offseason. Um, any managers? We'll get away from the rookie talk. I don't think either of us really want to show our cards in regards to the rookies yet. Any teams or managers this offseason that you foresee making a big splash? A big movement play or something maybe uncharacteristic that we've seen over the last 2 years.
I gotta think Noah Furrow, the sales guy himself, has something up the sleeve, like he alluded to. I think he's leaving last year with a bad taste in his mouth, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets aggressive here. He's got some assets. Noah Furrow, I'm just saying, look out.
Yeah, no, I'm actually gonna have the same pick. I agree with you. I think Noah Furrow is maybe the first and the most to have the biggest splash this offseason. He bought Trey McBride during the season, during that Relly Gary fire sale. Spent a pretty penny, paid for him at face value. So I don't think he's as reluctant to make the trades as he was in the past. So we'll see what unfolds. I foresee this offseason being the middle of the pack working with each other to help bolster each other up. During the season last year, I was having issues making trades. People didn't really want to get deals done with me. They thought, I was doing something behind the doors or something, whatever, what have you. But I got a feeling me, Lark, maybe another manager won't get as many deals done as maybe we've done in the past. We'll see.
Yeah, are we? When you started to, I noticed you were clustering groups of owners there. You mentioned Lark. Listen. I'm gonna be honest. He went and got his win. He got some points on the board. Tip of the hat to him. But if you're looking at that roster, it's withering, it's aged, it's injured. I wouldn't be surprised if he did make some moves. I don't think Lark's naive to the reality of his roster. And Kyle Lark, if you want to make a move, I think Butch might be opening up the floodgates here soon. But I'll let him make the call on that.
Yeah, no, league will be open once this episode. If this episode's released and you're watching it, then the league is open. Yeah, I just pulled up Lark's roster actually, and he's got some pretty interesting pieces to move, and he's got no picks next season besides his fourth round pick. So um, Cam Scatterbo, J.K. Dobbins, Debo Samuel, Michael Wilson had a flash last season. Might be able to get him off for something. Aaron Jones, but maybe you can get a third. Tyrone Tracy, he's got three quarterbacks. Yeah, I can see him packaging up some of these guys and maybe trying to tier up. He did start Kenneth Gainwell in the championship and won it, so interesting enough. Yeah, I kind of want to see what a guy like G Money Meyer and Katzen have in store for the offseason. Stafford's coming back. That's a big plus for them. They're worried about that this season. So one more role with Matthew Stafford. Don't got to worry about a super flex spot. Kind of opens up him in the position to maybe go buy a elite tight end or try to get another receiver. The receiving core is it's not looking the best. A
Yeah, I
lot of weight
agree.
on.
Tweedledee and Tweedledum definitely have something up their sleeve for the offseason. So I'm excited as well. I do want to, Myers, he's been quite the talk of the town for the last couple episodes. I am interested to see how this all manifests because we do have Scottsdale on the books. Which, speaking of Scottsdale, it might be too early to have something formative in mind as far as what the itinerary is, but I do think it's a good time to call out. That's something we should start thinking about, fellas. You got any ideas? Anything you want to interject into the schedule? Put together a nice little array of things to do. And I, yeah, take it away. Take it away.
I couldn't agree more. Great idea bringing that up actually while we got the platform. Yeah, guys, Scottsdale's around the corner. I'm hoping to, maybe plan a little meat market Olympics, little competition. Maybe you get some extra fab. Maybe you get a fourth round pick on top. I don't know. I don't want to get too crazy because I know a few managers won't make it there. But I mean, hey, but we got to feed the people who do show up. So if you got any ideas regarding, competitions, etc., maybe what we can get into that weekend, I would love to fill the slate in the docket with our ideas. So go ahead and shoot them to me. Yeah, Scottsdale should be an interesting little 2-day excursion. I mean, you get everyone in the league in the same room. People start chirping, some backdoor conversations, twings passing out party goods. Who knows what really, transpires there in Scottsdale, but something electric will happen. And I wouldn't be shocked if it involves some managers that don't really get to, do that kind of stuff. Usually, the Kyle Larks or Riley Garys who make trades, but they're far and few in between. I think Scottsdale would be a good opportunity for everyone to have that, platform to negotiate and whatnot, trade their picks. Um, Something else noted about Scottsdale, I'll touch on it one time, I won't touch on it again. There's a noise ordinance, so everyone please be cautious. If we do get hit with a noise ordinance fine, it's about 10K, and I'll be taking out of your guys' buy-in for the next 5 to 6 years. So just be mindful, when the sun goes down, let's quiet down a little bit, turn down the speaker, but we'll figure it out. Cam, we're going into season 3. Everyone stayed in the league. So far, so good. I mean, I hate to bring it up, but I got to bring it up. You got any whispers or murmurs or maybe an inkling of a feeling that maybe a manager or two are going to trickle off here and ditch this league?
Yeah, I am worried about some churn. Um, the Brandalorian. He's at first we thought he was in the shadows. Maybe he's kind of a fly by night kind of guy. I'm just wondering if there's still a pulse going on over there. Now, a dark horse that I will call out, Trouble in Paradise over there for a depot. If the Brandalorian does not renew, it may pave way for Justin Katzen to step out of the shadow of Jeremiah over there and take a team by the horns. So
No,
I
no, that is true. I mean, who knows what really what's going on with Equipo and Katzen. I mean, I got word from the Brandalorian that he actually won another Dynasty League. So there is a pulse over there. I just think the focus this season may not have been in the meat market and was, elsewhere on the team that he had competing. But I looked at his lineup, Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 or 3 first round picks this year. Joe Burrow, he's got some names over there. I think he can, pull together some strings. Of course, it takes luck. Doesn't really matter what names you got on your roster. If you took a look at mine, last October, without a shadow of a doubt, you would have said that I would have won the league. But it doesn't always work out like that, all right? Luck, variance, these things happen. So even if you're counting yourself out, just remember there's a chance for everyone. To make it, except the bushwhacker. He doesn't have a chance for a few years, but hey, he'll figure that out eventually. What else we got on the docket today? Let's see.
Well, my starting quarterback, Sam Darnold, just won his first ring. Yeah, I'm just saying he's available. Super Sam Darnold. If you guys are interested, supersize me. He's available. Super Bowl champion.
I uh I am curious what the first wave of trades will be here. That February March trades because it's a little early. We got coaching changes, which is crucial, something to note for everyone. There's been a lot of coaching changes. Players haven't been moving yet, but players will be moved. I mean, where does Brandon Ayuk end up? Where does the Seahawks re-sign Kenneth Walker? I'd assume so after a Super Bowl MVP, or do they sell high? I mean, I don't know what's really going on with some of these players, but you may want to take a look at your roster and see if you got any guys that are on their contract end of the contract road and may have a new jersey on here next fall. So take a look at that. Brandon Ayuk's one of the heavy hitters off the top of my head. Um, I'm sure there's a laundry list and some elderly running backs you can get your hands on for cheap. So everyone take a gander, throw out some feelers. I'd love to see a trade go down, first 72 hours of this episode dropping, set off the offseason strong. I heard Dodgers not selling his first round picks. Did you hear that?
He told me something else. I don't I
Really?
can't in good faith, I can't necessarily explain exactly what has been, going down behind the scenes, but he's a man of reason. And I think if you approach him with a reasonable deal, you'll get a reasonable response. And I've approached him with a couple reasonable deals.
I've been pondering about because when I put the league on pause for about a month or so, I was thinking, yeah, the app might be paused, but that doesn't mean people's phones are turned off. I gotta assume the hungry managers, the ambitious managers, have been sending off some messages here while we had the league on pause. Maybe I got first dibs on X, Y, and Z, or hey, don't forget about me before you send a trade offer or whatever. So I'm curious what those conversations were, and maybe we'll see them come to light. Here in the transactions. Um, Also, great time the off season. If you guys have any disputes, rule changes, anything that follows under that category, off season would be the time for us to hash it out, vote on it, etc. So if you got something that's on the top of your mind or you've been waiting on, go ahead, bring it up so I can as the commissioner get everyone to vote on it and we can proceed accordingly. What were you about to say, Chip?
I was just curious, do you have a first?
I do. I have Garrett's first, so I have the 109.
Interesting.
Maybe Denzel Boston, maybe something like that. We'll see who falls down at 109.
Yeah, Boston market.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Uh,
I don't really give a damn about this draft class. So the way I look at this class, it's going to be the person you expect the least that's going to hit. That's you know, it's not super top heavy. There's going to be some, the 107 to 205. Some is going to hit massive in that range. Guarantee whoever you think it is, it's not going to be that person. It's going to be someone else. So, you know, I'm sure there'll be some diamonds in the rough.
yeah, I mean, I'm glad you said that. I do have the 202, so if you're looking to make a deal, you know, in the range that falls right in that range you mentioned.
I'm absolutely terrified of how many transactions you're going to make between now and come April.
Yeah, I'm triple, double, and quadrupling down. It's been 3 years, man. I haven't made the playoff. My kids are hungry.
The next episodes when we start having some league members on, trust me, I mean, you keep that same energy, Chip, they're gonna start coming for you.
Yeah, it would be disingenuous to push it up now, I think. I could go with a nice kayak. I could soften the edges, but that's no fun. At the end of the day, I'm here to breathe life into this league, and I take it upon myself to challenge the other owners.
Yeah, I'm also curious what the meat market terrorist has up his sleeve for this calendar year, because last season I think he took on this mantra. I think he realized at some point, maybe I'm not going to be in the championship or even the semifinals. So he took on this character and he brought it to life, and it worked for last season. He may not have won a championship. He won something in his heart, especially knocking back his pick to 105 to kind of undercut Dodge in there. Yeah, I'm looking at his roster. I'm curious what he's got up his sleeve because he's another person in this league who I'd say he's the loose cannon in this league. You can't quite put your finger on what his plan is, but nonetheless, he's got the app like everyone else, so he can click accept or he can click send trade whenever. Um, so I'm curious if Jackson Dart's still on his roster come August. I'm curious what he does with Kyle Manungai. I gotta think. Devontae Swift, Brandon Ayuk, and whoever else he has over there. It's not the receiving core he necessarily wants to roll out. So curious what happens over there with the Terraces front office.
Eh, the terrorist might be my favorite persona in this league. Just what he does to other managers, with the wins that he pulls off, the psychological games he's playing. I, I love what he's built. I love what he's doing. And the terrorist, if you're looking to set a bomb off, he might be your guy.
And then over to Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. I mean, I was trying to tell everyone during the season that he sneakily went all in. Sold his first round pick for Josh Jacobs. He's got no picks next year except his fourth, but he's got a decent roster. Neighbors got injured. He's coming back. Brock Bowers was up and down all year. Probably going to have Fernando Mendoza next season. Interested in what comes together for Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. He also has Devontae Adams coming back for one last year with Matthew Stafford. Yeah, another team to keep your eye on. I think the league is at a pretty competitive state, but I think from the months now to August, start to iron out where everyone's head's really at.
There's going to
Who's
be a
got
Nick Friedel fire sale by week 4 next year. I think he's got a lot of young pieces. I think he's got some meat left on the bone there with some of those players you just mentioned, Stafford, Adams, Jacobs. I think he could get good value for him next year, especially early on in the season. I'm just saying, Nick Friedel, liquidation event.
I mean, maybe if there is a liquidation event, I will be purchasing Anthony Richardson at a discount. Locke, what are you talking about? Why would you want Anthony Richardson? I just need him. I need him on the roster just in case. Just in case the NFL figures it out. Terrell Pryor converted quarterback to receiver, put up 1,000 yards on the Browns. I'm just saying there's a chance. It's a slight glimmer of hope. Not much, but enough for me to, throw 3/4 at you.
Do you know who rosters Pat Bryant by chance? Do we know?
If I had to guess, it's Kyle Lark.
Yeah, Pat Bryant's an absolute fucking nobody. Um, this is something I do want to do. Perhaps this is next year or maybe the end of this episode. I'd like to do a little rookie draft review of last year. Should we do that?
Let me get that pulled up on my end, and then you can
Great.
get it,
Yeah, there's some fucking nobodies
and then we can.
that I want to highlight and bring to light here. So
Let's see. Let me get it pulled up on my end. Oh wow! When you look at these drafts afterwards, like a whole year later, you get a little sick to your stomach. You got it pulled up.
I'm pulling mine up now, but if you want to go ahead and yeah, you could rip through, or you could share your screen.
All right. This was last year's rookie draft. A lot of trades happened in this rookie draft, and this wasn't even in person. I mean, we were remote doing this. Ashton Genty to Dodgen, Travis Hunter to Cam, Hampton, Ward, McMillan. That was a big trade. Henderson was another trade. Actually, no. Dodgen traded into that spot and stayed put. Juckins, Ibuka, Caleb Johnson. Wow, that one stinks. RJ Harvey, Tyler Warren, Loveland, Matthew Golden. He's been on like 3 or 4 rosters already. Sorry, Dodgen. Luther Burden. Sold him, got him back. Tootin? Byshell Tootin? I think there's still a chance for Byshell Tootin, just not a major one. Jaden Higgins is interesting. Trey Harris will never be anything. Jackson Dart, what a smash pick so far. Cam Scatabo, absolute smash pick. Mason Taylor, to be determined. I don't know. Jalen Royals.
Fucking nobody.
The Chiefs got us again with the Royals. Jack Besh, sad to say, probably won't be anything. Kyle Williams. Where was Kyle Williams in the playoffs?
On the field. I don't know if you caught that clip of him in the Super Bowl. Mid huddle, he decides to run and tackle a streaker just to let you know where his mind was in the biggest game of his career.
Damn, I wonder if he put money on that crypto coin. Dylan Sampson. Dylan Sampson, it's nasty, but dude, he's had these glimpses. I just think he's in a bad situation. He's probably a decent player. Um, Ferguson, I like Ferguson. I like Ferguson. Tight ends take a while. Jalen Milrow, probably won't see the field. Jaden Blue, now we're in the third round where it's all nasty. So let's find a good name. Where are some sleepers? We got what you got?
I want you to take a look at those back-to-back picks. Probably the best picks at cost in this draft, Shador Sanders and Harold Fannin. Can you read me who drafted those 2 players? I can't.
Hey man, when you're back there in the draft and when you're at where you're at in this league, I expect nothing less than to reap the benefits of the mid third round. You know what I'm saying? You got to do that. You have to hit on those. You know what I'm saying? And remind me if am I mistaken? Neither of these players are on your roster to this day.
Yeah, we're gonna go 1 month at a time, 1 draft at a time.
I'm just saying, man, you might have sold too early. Torrey Horan had a moment or two out for the season, unfortunately. Tyler Shuck at 312 is going to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. Wow, I traded him too early. Um, Ollie Gordon had a moment. Yeah, the rest of the fourth round pretty much all misses so far. Except for 12, Kyle Monungai.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, interesting. And this is a good draft class.
That's what they were saying.
Best running back draft class in NFL history. You don't remember?
Yeah, bro.